one of the quarterbacks we mentioned that there's guys who haven't won as many Super Bowls who are ranked ahead or at least viewed as being better than Drew Brees. One of them is Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, of course, having a great season as far as the wins. The Packers are 11-3. They're going to make the playoffs, and they got a shot. I mean, most people don't have them coming out of the NFC. You do, but Rob, I got to ask you this, and we've brought it up periodically before. Aaron Rodgers is not, and remember last year we actually had one of our drops is Aaron Rodgers did not have a Pro Bowl season last year. And Rob, Aaron Rodgers has not been the driving force on this team. He has not been the Aaron Rodgers that we all have come to know and love, the one that many people say is the greatest passer of the football they've ever seen. Let me give you a few numbers since you like numbers so much. Aaron Rodgers has not thrown for as many as 250 yards in the last 6 games. The last 6 games. 3 of those 6 games, he's been under 200 yards. And in 3 of those 6 games, he has had, 4 of the 6, he's had 1 touchdown. 1 of the 6, he had 0 touchdowns. And then against the hapless Giants, he had 4. I'm not trying to diss Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying this is not the guy that we all have come to know and love, as I said.
Yeah, but
are you concerned?
I'm not concerned at all. It's a new offense that they're trying to incorporate. Everybody ripped on Aaron Rodgers all year. If you told me that
ripped on him all year,
all offseason, they ripped on him about he was uncoachable, he improvised too much, he's trying to follow the script and go with this new coach. They got to run it. Is
the script calling for 190 yards a game, which is what he's at? No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
He's throwing it a lot.
No, he ain't, though. He's not throwing nearly.
He's throwing 30-something times a game.
He's never had a running back who's had how many touchdowns does Aaron Jones have? They've never had that. That's where his touchdowns are.
Rob,
that's where his touchdowns
like he's not throwing the football.
He's not throwing it at the clip. No, he's not.
He was 16 for 33 last week.
That's the 33. He's not. He used to throw it 45.
Still, you should be able to get more than 203 yards and you throw it 33 times.
But he has a running back now he could dump off to. Aaron Jones has 17 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? Where do you think that total came from? Those are the touchdowns that used to be Aaron Rodgers because he had to throw the ball in the end zone. This guy can get into the end zone. That's where the numbers are, Chris. It's elementary.
What about the yards?
If you didn't have that.
What about the yards?
No, if you didn't have that running back guy, it would be totally different, and then I would look into it.
They're throwing it enough.
No, they're not.
This
is not the same Aaron Rodgers and the way that they used to run the offense. And he was criticized.
I'll give you that.
He was
the
criticized
about
trying to to try to listen to the new coach and work it in and follow the script and not be the improviser and all that. And then all they're doing is winning games. And his numbers could be better. There's no doubt about it. What has he got, 26-2?
24 touchdowns,
and
2
picks. I mean, they could be better. He should have 10 more touchdowns. I'll give you that.
He's only completing 63% of his passes.
I bet you if you check and see, he's never, ever, ever had a guy with 17 touchdowns.
Give you that.
I mean, that's an incredible number.
And he's not throwing it quite as much as he has in the past, but they're still throwing it enough for him to put up more yardage and touchdowns. And I'm wondering this. Are you concerned?
No, I saw him put up 5 touchdowns. He passed for 5, ran for 1. Nobody had done that doesn't matter.
The dismal Oakland Raiders.
It just kills me. It doesn't kill me.
Every time you do the power rankings, it matters who you beat, right?
And they beat some teams.
You
want to go in there?
Give them props for beating Rob's sorry Oakland Raiders.
The Raiders were one game out of the playoffs before LeBron got hurt. Don't you remember that? The Raiders were one game out of the playoffs before LeBron got hurt.
Rob was all excited.
That's what you used to use. That was your excuse.
The Raiders.
Now
LeBron
you're not.
never
Now you're
played
not
for the Raiders.
You know what I'm talking about. You
Look,
always
I'm
use that
just wondering,
excuse thing.
is Aaron? So you're not worried about Aaron?
Not at all.
He's not.
They
gonna
won
be a
11
problem.
games,
Okay.
and if they let Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers, let me tell you something. You
But
better
will
watch
they?
out.
Are they holding him back?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's a good question. I don't know, Chris, but I'll tell you this. If they're given an opportunity, and they've had to win some ugly and tight games, but they've won them, and they have had a tough schedule. They've beaten some good teams. They beat the Bears in their own division. Remember, Bears made the playoffs a year ago. They've won some good games if you look at their schedule. So I like where the Packers are. Everybody could talk about all the other teams. They do have a running back, and they have a defense, Chris, that can make plays. I'm not saying they're the greatest defense. They're going to shut you out, but they can get the ball back in tough situations. I've seen them get the football back and win games.
All right. You're a believer. Of course, you're biased because you picked them. I guess you still got the Chargers.
You picked them for the playoffs,
You
too.
still got the Chargers.
You still talking about
You
the
still got
Chargers.
the Chargers.
You kill me with
You
that.
got keep
You
hope
picked
alive.
the Cleveland
All right,
Browns.
Jesse, keep
that
hope
was
alive.
you using your hometown.
Cleveland!
At the Cleveland Browns, they gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
I
Look at
never
the
said
Cleveland
that.
Browns,
I
the
never said
land,
that.
the land,
All
LeBron
I'm
and the
saying is
land.
watch out for the land next year.
They were the Lamb, L-A-M-B. Forget about the land.
All right, your turn to weigh in 877-99
Did
on
you hear
Fox.
that laugh by
Yeah.
Kawhi? That was good stuff.
877-99 on Fox. Is Aaron Rodgers getting a pass for his mediocre play these past 2 months? We'll continue the
Who wrote
conversation
that
with you
tease?
next.
JT in Houston, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers, he's gonna be just fine. Rob Parker, I'm with you today. Aaron Rodgers, he's always carrying the team, and it's okay for him to be under the radar right now. I mean, everybody knows what he's capable of doing, and nobody's gonna just say, "Oh, well, he can't do it because he's mediocre this year." Everyone else is pulling their part to help the team get better and to get to the ultimate goal. So let Aaron Rodgers do what he do, and let everybody else do their job. Everybody else get paid just like he do too.
All right, JT, that's a
feel
level-headed opinion right there.
Yep, let's go to Scott in Milwaukee. Scott, you're on with the Odd Couple.
Hey, how you guys doing? First time caller, big fan.
Thank
you,
you,
brother.
Scott. Appreciate you.
First thing, early trash talking is going to go to Rob just for the fact of Eli Manning better than Breeze.
Hey,
Come on.
you better get on the line. I want to hear your take on that. But what do you got? What do you got on Rodgers?
Honestly, these last couple of years, you could actually pretty much compare Rodgers and Breeze. They both got a top-tier running back in Kamara and Jones, and it caused them to change the game. So they're not having to lean on the quarterback throwing the ball so much. So some of that percentage is dipped because you've seen Breeze win a game with only 189 yards passing. You know, it's about the team, and, you know, you can mix it up now. It also doesn't help that Rodgers has got undrafted wide receivers that aren't getting yards after the catch like his previous wide receivers of the past have been able to do.
There's no doubt about that. He doesn't have the receiving cord, and what's his name?
When
Was hurt too.
when Brady doesn't have the receiver.
Oh, would
cord,
you
don't
stop?
give
We're
him
not
an
talking
excuse.
about Brady.
I'm just saying, be consistent. That's
Hey,
all the brother's saying.
hey, Chris in
That's
New
all-
York.
That's absolutely all the brother's saying.
Chris in New York, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Chris?
Hey guys, it's an honor to be on with you. First time caller.
Thank
Big
you.
fan.
Thank you,
Rob,
my man.
Rob, matter of fact, I live down the block from Van Buren, so it's good to see you representing Queens the way you do.
Are you serious? You're on 200.
Yes,
I'm at
sir.
Van Buren, 232nd Street and Hillside
233rd
Avenue.
Street, bro. 233rd Street.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to talk about how, and no other sports shows are talking about this, how the Green Bay receivers are actually abysmal. You have Devontae Adams, king of the receivers, who is the only one drafted before the 5th round. Chris
Yep.
Broussard, I need you to name the wide receiver 2 on the Packers. Can you do that for me?
Stay off that.
Geronimo Allison, Marquez, you cannot
There's
do
nobody.
What's it
it.
matter?
Exactly. Our
Can you
third
name the
receiver
ones
leader
on the
is
New England Patriots?
running back.
Excuses. That's all I hear.
No, it ain't. It's fact, Chris. You
When
came
he
with
gets it
facts,
done
Chris
and
from
they
New
win
York.
the Super Bowl.
You came
cool.
with facts.
And I'm not dissing Aaron Rodgers. I'm just presenting the question.
That's all right,
Are
Chris.
you worried about the mediocrity you've
Thanks for
been
the
seeing? That's all I'm
support.
saying.
Queens in the house. We appreciate the call. Ben in Indiana, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Ben?
Aaron Rodgers does not deserve a free pass because he has Jimmy Graham and Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, probably the best trio when it comes to everything. With that, His defense needs to pick up. Aaron Rodgers won't be playing football for much longer, as Cowherd said.
Wow.
All right.
So you say he's not going to be playing much longer?
Wow.
That's what Cowherd said.
All right, we'll see if they get to the Super Bowl. Thanks, Joseph, for the call. Appreciate it.
Wow.
I was trying to see if you would respond to that.
So, look, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is done or anything like that. All I'm saying is last year, he wasn't Rodgers-esque. This year, he hasn't been Rodgers-esque. Now, if they win the Super Bowl, great. Because Brady years that he, or games.
Brady won the Super Bowl last year without throwing a touchdown.
Right, but do you give him
No,
credit
I'm just
for that?
saying.
So if Rodgers does it this year, if Rodgers wins the Super Bowl
Without throwing
and
a
he's
touchdown?
mediocre, I don't want to hear from you ever again trying to belittle Tom Brady's
And
last
if Aaron
Super Bowl.
Rodgers cranks up in the postseason, plays
That'd be
3
great.
games and has 12 touchdowns in the 3 games and just improvises, does what he does, and they win, you would think, all right.
That'd be fantastic.
Okay.
You'd have to give him props.
No, you would.
Because the only blemish on, and it's, blemish, he's obviously an all-time great, but the only blemish really on Aaron Rodgers' record is he's only been to 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, he has to get to a couple. I think he's going to have
To be considered
a second.
for the GOAT,
Yeah,
yes.
no. We talked about this. He would have to do what Brady did his second part because Brady won the 3, and then it was a drought. I've been saying it. It was a 10-year drought, and then all of a sudden
Which
he's
is
won
not that
3.
unusual for a quarterback.
But it was a 10-year drought.
A 10-year drought of not winning it.
Yes,
not
that's
a
what I'm
10-year
saying.
drought of being there.
It's about winning.
Rodgers
Sports
has only been there.
Sports has
Rodgers has only been there
Sports
once.
has a short menu, wins and losses.
I keep telling you that.
All right, go ahead. Let's
Let's go to Scott in Richmond, Virginia. Scott, you're on with Chris and Rob.
How you doing, Chris, Rob? How y'all doing, brothers?
We doing
great.
great.
Man. How are you?
Hey, good, man. Hey, look, Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback, one of the greatest of all time. Stop, please. Let's stop giving this guy all the credit and saying that, look, you don't need to have – he has all these weapons or don't have all these weapons or these guys can't catch the ball or he doesn't have this and that. Look at Russell Wilson. What has he had? Has he even had a number 1 receiver in his entire career?
Thank you.
Ever.
They had the Legion of Boom. He didn't even have to do anything but manage the game.
Okay.
Stop it.
No.
Okay.
Stop.
And give it to Beast Mode. They have one of the best running backs in the game. Where are you coming from in Richmond, Virginia with this nonsense? Don't act like he didn't have anything. Are you kidding me?
Hey, Rob.
Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Rob. I'm gonna counter this. I'm gonna counter that with this, right? All right. So let's look at this. It's a stat out there. You can check it on Google, right? The 4 quarterbacks in their first 8 years had the most touchdown passes ever thrown. Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, Russell Wilson, and Brett Favre. Where's Aaron Rodgers there?
No,
and I'm talking about a guy, and this guy is on a team.
On his
that has
first 4 years?
It's a running mentality.
In his first
And
4
he's
years,
thrown-
Aaron Rodgers didn't play his first 3 years, dude. What are you talking about? Aaron Rodgers was on the bench his first 3 years.
Yes, as Aaron Rodgers played.
All right.
I don't believe
Scott
that.
bringing heat. You got Rob's panties in a bunch.
They are.
And it's not a pretty sight.
Rob
believe
G,
me.
can you pull them out for me?
On that note,
I think I had my planties are in a bunch.
all right, look,
Because
you
I'm healthy.
guys- What's happening, y'all? It's Chris Broussard,
I'm Rob Parker.
and we are
The Odd Couple. Check us out as often as you can on YouTube.
And always remember, I'm Oscar, and he's Felix.
Oh, man. Are you serious?